Hello, my love bugs, my honey bunnies, my special divine in the flesh. Maria West here. Welcome to Love, Truth, and Beauty. This is episode 325 and our first installment of my new video series called The Heart-Based New Humanity. And today I have a very, very special presentation with beloveds from way back when. I'm sure we've had many incarnations together, and they are the genius, the heart, mind, body, soul behind Luv-a-lution.net, not .com. Welcome, Amy, Jean Paul, and Sebastian. Hi, sweethearts.
Hi.
How's it going?
Good. Thanks for having us.
Oh, thank you for being here. Thank you for being here. And this is our special Valentine's Day presentation, because this is going to be going live on Valentine's Day. And I know that for myself, I've had a lot of like weird unwindings regarding Valentine's Day and all that kind of the matrix programming, and that, you know, if you don't have anything going, then you must be unlovable or you've got a problem. It's like, I give up. I can't. No more. So this is very special for me, because the way I came upon the two of you was actually it was very kismet, and I was always in your periphery. And it was our mutual friend, Derek Bartolicelli, who said, oh, I saw you on the Luv-a-lution website. I'm like, what? What do you mean? And it's funny because I had just been on the site and I was looking at the formula for the superfood, and I was intrigued. And then I hit the truth speakers, and I'm like, whoa. So such an honor. I had no idea. And then it made me realize, oh, okay, these two are really doing it for real. Like for real. And up in Maine, off the grid, all that kind of stuff, it's like I have to have them on my channel, because you guys are really the template for the heart-based new humanity. And I have met many couples who claim to be doing it, and you know, in the end, it's more like posing, the sort of poseur, sort of we're just going to post our happy rich life on the Instagram, and then you find out that their interaction is far from loving, the complete opposite. There are, you know, children that aren't being taken care of. So let's just start. What is the Luv-a-lution movement?
Nice.
Wow.
You want to start that?
Yeah, so the Luv-a-lution is that personal journey within oneself to higher conscious levels and higher awareness, leading to that self-love, that true unconditional self-love. And it's that journey we all take to do the inner work, to want to know what's going on. And that's that Luv-a-lution. It has to take place within each of us in order to have it, you know, as a collective. And we could change this place overnight if we truly loved ourselves. And yeah, so that was the brainchild. Then when we met 7 years ago, right around now we met.
Wow.
And I told her about, have you heard of the Luv-a-lution? I'd always ask people that, have you heard?
I said, no, I haven't. It's a cool word.
And yeah, just kind of, oh, well, you know, it's that teaching self-love, that we were all taught to love things outside of ourselves, but it's loving thyself within, deep within us. We're chasing that external,
yes,
when it's hidden within us, you know.
Yes.
And I'll add to that, we have to make the conscious choice to want to know the truth and want to know what's going on, inner and outer. So it's up to the individual to make that choice to want to change, want to evolve, and want to get better.
Yeah.
That's the individual journey.
And that's a beautiful thing, because that journey in and of itself is aligned with the second hermetic natural law principle of correspondence. You know, you want to change the outer world, what's happening internally, because it really does. It's an inside job. It starts with each and every one of us. Well, so how did you two meet? Okay, 7 years ago, around this time you met. How?
Yeah,
What
we
was
met in
So I was at the bar. I was out at the bar with a girlfriend, and someone texted her. She goes, "Oh, John Paul, my friend, texted me," and she goes, "He always texts me. He's one of those guys that's really good with the phone. I don't like that." And I was like, "Oh, okay. Like I like someone who's gonna call." So I said, "Oh, let's go meet your friend." And we went to the bar, and I'll never forget it. I walked in, and he was in the corner, and there were a ton of people there, and they were all meeting. I met everybody but him. Couldn't wait to shake his hand or meet him. And we were reaching for each other over other people, and we finally shook hands,
I
and then
love
we
it.
just got talking, and it was so easy. I want to tell everybody out there, it should be easy. It's an easy flow, and I felt like we were just like, all right, picking up from where we left off.
Oh,
It
that's
was really
sweet.
easy, comfortable.
just fast friends right from the beginning, and just chatting away, and just I knew she was so special and so unique, and her, just wanting to know, and she had that thirst for wanting to know stuff and care, and she brought amazing knowledge of nature, which I was learning about and discovering on my own. I was raised outside New York City, not a lot of nature, suburbs, and that stuff. So I was discovering nature in Maine, and really just navigating the matrix, waiting to meet my, soulmate. And I was patient, and I didn't settle too. That was the thing we want to focus on, not settling in relationships, because we all settle when we don't
Yes.
respect ourselves.
Right.
And be
right.
yourself. 100%. Don't shy from being yourself, because then that person will love you for who you actually are,
Yeah.
and not the fake stuff.
Right. I think that's very important. And it seems like, most people do a lot of jumping around. They'll go from 0 to light speed without even asking the questions about, shared universal worldview, shared values, shared morality. That thirst for truth. A lot of people don't even know what that means. And
Yes,
were
that's
these
been
questions that you broached to one another when you first got together?
We didn't have that foundation yet. We were both we weren't aware of natural law yet. We learned that together.
Yeah.
Oh,
we
cool.
we didn't have that foundation yet. We were still unconscious on some of our behaviors when we did meet.
Yes.
So
I was teaching her of the chemtrails. She was teaching me about the ducks, the sea ducks, the eiders. And so we both love to learn, and we had that shared interest and wanting to know more. And
we both were rebels too. We had a
Yes.
rebel personality. We both were wondering what the hell is going on here since we were little, we felt like something was wrong.
Yeah.
So we both had that foundation of being like, there's something wrong here. And then we met, and then we discovered truth together.
David Icke was a first and very inspirational informative. Seeing his amazing talks, and then we learned about Mark and Max Egan and their work, and really Mark's work filled in all the cracks and made so much sense.
And then I remember seeing you on Mark's website, and I said, "Who is this?" And I was, wow, I've seen her before. And I clicked on your face and just learned so much from you.
Ah, bless your heart.
We appreciate all your amazing work, so thank you for that.
Oh, you're so welcome.
Thank
you. Thank you. So tell
Yeah.
me about the navigation of the discovery of natural law, because I know that can be super tricky, especially when there are so
Yeah.
many misconceptions about what natural law is. And, you know, how did you guys navigate that? Like, what were the first things?
Yeah. Well, we were watching an interview. Max Egan had Mark on his show, and he was pissed off, yelling. And we said, "What is he so mad about?" And that,
We love his passion
yeah,
and
Yeah,
we share that. We share that anger, that righteous anger we should
yeah,
all have, you know.
yeah,
And because they're harming our kids, they're harming everybody, all of us. So
Mark was talking about children and how people don't love their kids, and I'll tell you why. And that blew up so many doors open for us, and we said, okay, what is going on here?
yeah,
And then we started listening to Mark and learning about natural law.
yeah, that was in 2017. Went to his website and just watched a lot of his presentations. Really resonated with them,
yeah.
and wow,
And started right away integrating every single thing in our lives, integrating, learning, and just
Wow.
saying, nope, this doesn't align with natural law, then we're not going to be part of it.
yes,
Absolutely not.
And
I
that
was
is the key decision right there. You just said it.
yes,
If it's not in alignment with natural law, you do not participate. And there are consequences to that decision. And I'm curious, what were some of the consequences of those decisions? Like what were some of the key issues where you had to like kind of get real and make a radical shift and not look back?
You can start with the food.
yeah. Personally, I was a commercial fisherman at the time, lobstering,
Okay.
and that I was doing that year round, and it was tough work. Okay pay, but I was doing harm. I realized, and really lying to myself, saying this is okay. And then we learned his information, and we thought, well, there are lobsters included in that, you know, and we realized, yeah, he said, check out the movie Earthlings. So we did, and had an epiphany, really quit my job, and we stopped eating dead animals right in that afternoon. I said, I can't do this anymore. It's just in my gut, and I can't take it anymore. The
Wow.
cognitive dissonance I was experiencing. And we walked away from, a high paying job and security. We had a mortgage and a baby, but I knew it was wrong, and it was limiting us. And I knew we had to, start taking responsibility. We were learning all this truth, and the moral obligation was really setting in,
That is
And
a
also,
very
you know,
heavy. Say that again.
and then for me personally, as soon as I started aligning with natural law, I started putting up healthy boundaries in my life. And my self-love was evolving, and I was doing the right thing, not only for my family, but myself, and removing relationships that weren't serving me, coming face to face with truth of how my relationships were and how I didn't really know that they were that bad,
Yeah.
that unhealthy.
Yes.
I had to do so much work on my relationships, and everything shifted. Every choice we make, we do the right thing. We don't cause any harm.
Yeah.
Every job we have, we make the right choice. And
it's been tough sacrificing, when we gotta, when we're in the matrix somewhat, we have bills, of course. So navigating that, but it's really been really, it's been tough, but it's been worth it. Like that truth fits better than the lies fit.
Oh, yes. Yes. And have you noticed that when you started making those sacrifices, and that's scary in and of itself, because there are no quote unquote roadmaps. Do this, da, da, da. One size does not fit all. I mean, my journey has been a little crazy. Your journeys have been intense, a little crazy, you know, and extricating ourselves out of the matrix. I mean, the matrix will like pull out all the stops to tap you on your shoulder. Are you sure you're done? Are you sure you're done? And then there are, of course, the ramifications, the fallout with our families and friends who look at us and think, oh my God, they're going off the deep end. What are they doing? And all the judgments and the criticisms about that. And yet, with every, my experience has been with every sacrifice, there has been like all these allies that come out of nowhere, and there's a flow that gets established because as you're working with truth, you start building incrementally this foundation, and it's solid. And even when you get caught up in getting sucked in, there's always a reminder that you know the score of this. This is not going to work, you know. How were those transitions for you? I mean, we're talking, so you left the all the what you were doing behind, and then
Comforts. Yeah.
And to mention, like, I was helping the elderly, so I was helping them get through their last few years or few months of life.
She was doing home care after
okay, yeah,
I quit
and
the last one.
home care, holy cow,
I know,
they
I
cause so
know.
much harm. And I just wanted to love the old people and listen. And after realizing what we were doing, I said, holy cow, John Paul, we're poisoning these people. We're pushing them towards death. We're poisoning them. And it was such a realization, like, holy cow, our elderly care is crap. We call
it really is. It's criminal.
Yeah, death care.
Yes,
It's so bad.
It is absolutely. And it was tough going to answer your question, that transition from the, you know, the convenience and comforts to we didn't know how we were going to pay our mortgage, really. We were going, and I started, you know, just picking up construction, carpentry, whatever it took. But I knew we're trying to align ourselves with that morality that we were learning. And our parents all thought we were nuts.
Just go to work at Walmart. You know, that's what they'll say.
There we go. That's the answer. Yeah. I mean, it might work for some people, but no.
I know.
Yeah. The moral, we took the moral high ground and knew we couldn't keep, you know, harming these animals, and we were eating them.
Or elderly people.
Yeah, or the, you know, the medical mafia as well.
Yeah.
We couldn't be part of that. We couldn't, most jobs, really, the high paying ones are all causing harm, we learned. We figured out, you know, and so that's where the superfood, and it was time to put the Luv-a-lution into motion with the 3D, put it in 3D with the superfood and the website.
Wow.
And everything kind of came from that. That was around 2020. We got that off the ground right when, you know, the pandemic hit.
Right.
So it was difficult, but go ahead.
Then we researched Amazon and found out that employees were dying at the job site, and they were just saying, oh, well, on to the next person. And they would just move the person that had died and kept people working.
Because we had our product on Amazon. That's why, yes.
And Amazon is so immoral.
And we got off
there,
God. And they were stealing. Yeah, we weren't making much, but they were taking it all, really. And we just thought, wow, we got to get out of here. The Luv-a-lution and the evil empire do not mix, you know?
Yeah.
So we've made for sure.
Yeah.
But we're examples that you have to make sacrifices, and you're going to be as strong as a diamond when you make it through those tough times.
Yeah. And then we decided we needed to get off the land, get on some land, get out of this mortgage, which was the death pledge. We sold the house and found some land and moved way out to down East Maine, So we're right close to Canada, about 15 minutes.
Wow.
And
And boy, this has been the most challenging 2 years of my life.
I
But
bet,
you know
I
what?
bet it's cold there. It's freezing. It's freezing.
it was
and
cold.
And you're on a steep
Yeah.
learning curve. I'm sure.
Oh.
I wanted to back up and really get into how the two of you collaborated for this huge vision and the implementation of the vision. How did that come about? Did you do
a great one. Yeah.
heartstorming, brainstorming, divination, receiving dreams, insights? How did that happen?
Well, I don't know. I've always been a big thinker, and we had a lot of time when we met to spend time. We were both living with our parents, and I had a conversion van, and we'd always get together and go by the beach and just talk and
we talked a lot
about everything. And she did wildlife rescue, and her aspirations were, to start up a wildlife rescue to help the animals. And mine was really to help the people love, to teach them about self-love, because they don't have a clue about it. And you say that word, they look at you like you're crazy.
Yeah.
So the schools don't teach us this. And so we kind of just slowly morphed our ideas and aspirations together, to then create an online business where we could be with our son, so we don't have to go away from him.
And I've always wanted to grow my own food. I always thought that, yeah, I'd like to grow my own food. I'd like to can it. I really wanted to do all that. So that's when we decided we're going to grow our own food. We're going to do our own seeds. We're going to take care of ourselves. Because we started learning we can be shut off from everything at any point of time. So we with that knowledge, we wanted to be able to take care of ourselves. Self-sufficiency came into play. Self-ownership. We wanted to be able to do everything on our own.
And be responsible.
That inspired us to go off grid.
Okay. Now, in preparation to go off grid, did you take classes? Obviously, you had to research a bunch of stuff and figure out how to grow your own food, how to make the soil, how to do all of that. Living off grid, you need infrastructure, you need all that kind of stuff.
So that's a great question. Funny, we went from a hotel with all the conveniences right there.
Refrigerator.
Because we were in the winter. We moved in the winter, and our cats, they needed an extended stay hotel for them. So then we were in the hotel 2.5 months. It was miserable. But we went from having everything to then basically going camping and go to get your own water at a spring, and everything's off the grid, and so that was a big transition.
And then learning how to do electricity, right? We didn't know shit. We didn't know shit. So we had to learn how to set up solars. We had to learn how to set up converters. We had to learn how to do our camper, our propane. We still don't have a fridge. Mommy went crazy for a while. I'm now just like, I'm stronger. I'm living without a fridge and I'm doing it, but it was tough. Wow. Just realizing I was so hooked on all this stuff, and it was really hard for me. As a woman, we're so used to the fridge, the electricity, the
convenience.
So that was the awakening, was going without those, and it was a shock. But we are making a YouTube channel, Off Gridding. We want to teach people how to do this. We have experience now.
We're not trust funds with huge bank accounts and here pay some guy to set you up. And this,
I know a lot of those people, and it's not sustainable. and they come off like
Yes.
No.
So we're gonna,
they're these experts and they're not.
They're
They
like,
hired the people to do it and maintain it, basically.
exactly. Yes, absolutely.
It's not
So
the same
yeah,
thing.
that it was no, we just went in kind of not knowing much, but we've gained so much skills, holy cow, and just knowledge and confidence now in ourselves to really tackle any endeavor or adventure.
And we saved all our seeds, and so we have in a basket all our food ready for the spring, and we can just go and plant our food and start growing our food right
Yeah.
from our seeds. So that's exciting, that new skill.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah,
What
we
have been your biggest challenges, just in terms of, well, I mean, the energy that you are, the energy and the focus required to implement a vision and materialize it, maintain it, nurture it, and you have a child, and you have a relationship together, not just as lovers and partners, but also as well, you're pioneering, basically. What are the, like, what are the challenges in terms of maintaining the energy, maintaining the inspiration? How do you maintain that? Where do you get it from?
yeah, nature really is our mother. We love her, and we're at very minimal now living, and nature is everywhere around. We're surrounded by her, and her beauty humbles us and kind of recharges, renews, refreshes us. But go ahead,
And
Liv.
we're truth nerds. We love truth, and we just wake up and we want to make blogs. We want to make videos. That's our focus point. Money isn't our religion. We don't have any religions, but truth.
Yeah.
We're very focused on truth, and we wake up and always want to share and grow and learn and help humanity.
Yeah.
And
We decided too, when we kind of got together to do this with our son, that he's going to go on this journey, but he's not going to dictate who we are. We're going to, teach him these principles, the
Beautiful.
reality and the stuff. And we're motivated to not create abandonment issues because we know about that. And so gaining that vision together. But the biggest struggle really is kind of paying the bills, because we want to do the movement all the time, but we got to go out and pay our bills. And, so that has been a tough thing.
It's that waltzing in and out of the matrix.
Yes, absolutely. That was tough. And it's still tough, but we've learned how to regulate and how to navigate.
And
but
we check in often because we're business owners and we're partners. So we'll
Right.
talk about our businesses. We'll say, what is the plan with this?
Yeah.
And we'll talk about goals. Which do we want to make a month? We are the creators.
Yes.
So we can make
Absolutely.
how much we want. And so we're thinking very big, because money isn't the problem. It's what we do with it. We can do
Yes.
great things with money, and we
Yes.
can help people.
Yes.
So
And
we're
that
changing
vision,
our money.
that vision actually actually summons the life force and the support to make it so. And
Absolutely.
that's in alignment with the Hermetic principles, which is amazing. It's like it has its own beautiful, loving, sustainable feedback loop if we just let go of the sort of indoctrinated ways that stuff happens. And this is fake, by the way. Oh my God. So it just suddenly occurred to me, like, they're gonna think I'm wearing fur. I'm not. I'm not. It's fake. It's completely fake. Everything's fake. We love it. But one of the things that you sent me some material, and I'm fascinated by this, that the two of you did not go into making your relationship formal through the status act of marriage. I want to hear about it. I want to hear about it because my guy and I are talking about it, and we've both been married twice in that legal bullshit sense, pardon my French, and it never worked. Like I did not benefit from any of that, neither did he. And there are other ways to really formalize, ritualize, up level our connections, our partnership through other means. So I want to hear your story about that, because I think it's pretty awesome to come from that place, and not as an act of rebellion necessarily, but as an act of up leveling that whole the whole ways of commitment and what that means. Like you don't need it. I find marriage to be a bit coercive, it's just ugh.
Absolutely, yeah.
Puts us in a box.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah, it never made sense to us. I have many brothers, went to many weddings, they all got married, and it really never made sense. They only come in to clean up the mess at the end. And we're not going to have any mess for them to clean up, so we don't involve them. And the true marriage, we learned, is with thyself, knowing thyself, right? Marrying the masculine, feminine, mental principles, aspects. And
Yes.
that's the true marriage. And they sold us this fake marriage that you got to put the church and the state, give them your power. It made no sense. So that was an easy decision.
And I think with me, I mean, I never pictured myself getting married. So it just wasn't natural for me.
Mhm.
And I know people who get a divorce within 3-4 years, a couple years. So you know what? Marriage, it doesn't mean that your sacred union is doing well. Because that sacred union of source and the soul and our connection can't be bought, can't be controlled. And so we don't even evolve.
And that's a
anyone
huge
else in this.
difference.
We say no thank you. Yes,
that when you are like, I consider the two of you to be in what I call fourth level relationships, which is it's the only relationship you can have as an awakened being, the heart-based new humanity. And this is the integration of the masculine, feminine within. And these are dynamic. They're dynamic within you, Amy, and within you, John Paul. And so the collaboration between the two of you, I mean, it's that much more rich. Whereas in the lower 3 levels of relationship that are all within the matrix, we have a disposable relationship mantra going on here. I find it very, very, very sad. If I don't like it, I'll just leave. And I've been there. It's not good. It is not a good affirmation, declaration of your heart, mind, body, and soul to another person. And once again, it all goes back to not having common values, not having same moral code, not being on the same page, not being in alignment, not aligning with truth, not even knowing what the truth is, and not caring to find out. So, and thank you both.
As a woman, I think as a woman, we have to love our men more and appreciate them. I think if they don't bring enough in the money, or if they're not doing enough, then we just don't care about them, and where's the care? Where's the heart? I grew up with Disney programming, right? So princess programming, men were supposed to take care of us and buy us all this stuff. And no, we have to do it ourselves. Only you can take care of yourself.
Exactly. And it's a collaboration. You do for each other. You do for the highest.
Oh, yes, we do.
Yeah, we've been
Absolutely.
freeing our mind control together, really. You know, we had programs, negative unlearning everything. So that was
The roles.
exciting. Yeah.
What do
Do the
men
two
do?
of you
Okay,
talk
that's
about
what we're
that?
gonna.
Do you two talk
Oh
about
yeah.
those
Oh,
roles? Like, I know in Free Your Mind 3, Mark did his presentation about the unholy feminine, and I was just like
Oh, that was great. Yeah.
cheering. And I'm thinking these would be great conversations to have with
Mhm.
our, you know, our respective partners. And
oh,
I know I've tried to like bring that up with friends, and it's a no-go zone. We're not going to talk about that.
oh, yeah, we do. We don't want to just be in our roles. We want to share, and we want to do things together. We want to learn how to do projects together. We
Yeah.
both cook. We both feed our son. We don't have ritual sit-down dinners where mommy's working all day just to make a meal that her family is eating and done in 5 minutes. You know,
Yeah.
we don't
Yeah.
we don't make one or the other do role stuff. You know.
Yeah. Yeah, we do our chores, but we don't identify with much. You know, we know we're infinite awareness, having this human experience, you know, spiritual beings in this flesh, you know, teaching our son the 3 dimension while we're trying to navigate, get through the fourth and into the fifth, you know. So it's a it's a sacrifice, but it's so worth it to
Yeah.
know what we know now, and no more believing and behaving. You know, we're going with the knowing and the you know, that sovereignty of do with you do what you want, if as long as you're not hurting anybody,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
And very little rules here. We try to be as free as we can with each other and honest, and we let our emotions out too. I wasn't allowed to express my emotions. I was the youngest of 7 boys, so I had about 8 parents all telling me what to do
Oh
all the
my
time.
gosh.
Church, religion, church, school, sports, all that, you know.
You know, we're
So
taught emotions, they're not good, you know. We don't want to hear that, but we say, let's get them out. I'll scream or cry or
yeah,
whatever.
Yes.
Sebastian cries,
Yeah.
we
that's
laugh, we have emotion.
yeah,
Yeah.
we
And then they're
embrace it,
done.
and yes, they feel so much better. They're
Yes.
almost matured. You can see they've matured in a way. It's incredible to watch that they're just have this fear or something, and then they get through that hurdle, cry it out, and they're just
Yeah.
no more
Yeah.
fear there,
Because
and they
there's no
feel great.
suppression or repression of it. We're not
Yeah.
IMing to those repressed emotions. And that's what happens, is that we start to identify them because they're trapped, rather than being in that acceptance of where you're at in the moment emotionally and allowing that expression without the identification. I mean, it's just amazing. I know with my stepchildren, we had an agreement that whatever was coming up was cool. And if it got stuck, that was when, you know, and we got to name our little emotional I had a little emotional monster, and they knew when I was
Yeah, that's
suppressing.
good.
And
Yeah,
usually I was suppressing as a stepmom because I have that judgment that, oh, I'm gonna be inappropriate here, and it's not the time and space to do it, you know, and hit that pause button. And so we learn together to be able to like flow with the emotional states, knowing that these emotional states are very temporary, and to be okay with it, and move on, have that forward motion. And then we would have fun talking about it, you know. Oh, what can I ask you what happened there, you know? And especially if it didn't go so smoothly, because sometimes it doesn't go smooth, you know. Sometimes it can be
absolutely.
overwhelming, you know. And so I wanted to ask, in your relationships years, your external relationships, do you two have much support from families and family members, friends, or are they just AWOL?
Yeah. Yeah, not much support, you know, the journey of truth is lonely, you know, and there's a few courageous, brave souls like ourselves doing this work, but yeah, they think we're nuts pretty much. I don't talk to a lot of my family and friends in the area, you know, we're a little too real for a lot of people, you know. And yeah, because you know, there's in this world that's so fake, when we speak the truth, everyone runs, you know.
Yeah, they do. They do. Or they're like,
Don't want to hear
they
it.
just want
Yeah,
to block you. They want to block you. Could we,
yeah,
could we just not go there? Like, yeah.
yeah,
No,
yeah.
I
It was
agree.
it was challenging for me to, because for a while I was quiet about how I felt with certain things because I didn't want to ruffle feathers. And then I just said, fuck it. And I just started being open about how I felt, what was going on, what
Good.
we're learning. I told my mom, my dad, and my brother, and it was hard. But I am so happy I did because they respect me. I know my folks and my brother respect me, even if they don't understand what I'm talking about. So, but I'm not at that close anymore. It's hard to have relationships with people if they're not on board with truth. They're in the
Right.
matrix. How are you going to
Right.
have a good relationship?
Exactly. Exactly. They're actually in their world, we're actually playing a role to them about, oh, that's my out there, like I'm known as the conspiracy friend, conspiracy. Like,
Well,
okay.
you're everyone's higher self, probably, right?
Yeah.
You're all your friends' higher self, basically, and they don't want to hear you because they don't want to change.
Yeah. No, they don't want to change. Well, and they don't want to face themselves. They don't want to face those kernels of those crunchy, tender morselettes that they're avoiding, that's, you know, knocking around in their entire being. That's really just an invitation. These are all invitations to wake up and have your ego die deeper to discover what is real. You know, I always tell my friends, especially the ones that are like really, you know, they just don't, we just want the funny Maria. Let's just have the funny Maria or whatever. But but then, you know, they'll ask me a question and I'll go, how deep of an answer do you want? You know, and I'll always give them the choice. And I go, oh, just give me the surface stuff. And it's always very disappointing for me, but you know, at least I give them the surface stuff, because now I'm formulating the surface answers and
Planting the
inserting,
seed.
yes, planting some seeds. And
Those
that
are important.
yes, yes. And you're right, absolutely right. Living truth and embodying it and endeavoring to be in alignment with it and in alignment with natural, it is very lonely. It's extremely lonely.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm basically on my own. My partner, bless his heart, just asked me the other day, can I have a copy of the Kabbalion? And I'm just like, what?
No.
And what's
Wow.
interesting about him is that we have had divergent pathways and have come together. We have the same morality. We have the same universal world views. We've come to the same conclusions about life, taking these divergent pathways and coming together. And so I'm witnessing that even though the Kabbalion may be very new to him, he's actually living those principles in many ways already. So that always, it's always intrigued me. It's like, how he knows this stuff already. And through his own, you know, deep programming and coming face to face with those incongruencies where you realize, okay, something's really effed up and off here. and why? Is this
Yeah.
internal, or is this something that I'm witnessing outside? And then realizing, you know, what's ever outside is happening within, and to make the shifts, the realignments, the purges, get out of, you know, these toxic situations. And just, if it isn't aligned with truth, you don't participate, you know, you don't bring people into your life that are downers or toxic. You just don't do it. You know, there's
Absolutely.
yeah,
Yes.
yeah,
Yeah, we're learning that, and kind of going through how friends kind of hinder your growth, really. So we have very limited friends. And also, when you eliminate friends that, you know, people either take or give you energy in your relationships, and when you can be aware of that, um, you protect that energy, where a lot of people just want that, you know, that energy, the energy vampires, kind of, you
yes,
know, that they they can really drain you, and friends do that, really, that are asleep,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
and family members. Yes.
Yeah. Well, and I've noticed that for myself. I mean, being at this work for many years. I mean, I'm going into, is it 37 years now of doing this? And with the online
Wow, good
community
for you.
too, I'm finding that discernment goes a long way. Because just because
Yeah.
people have, like, you know, they're doing podcasts or whatever and talking about the truth, doesn't mean they're aligned with the truth. Doesn't mean they
No,
are
absolutely.
aligned with a higher version of themselves. And so I've had to, like, navigate some really almost sociopathic, psychopathic energies coming at me, you know, trying to get me involved in this, that, and the other thing, you know. And I'm just like this open flower. It's like I want to see people in terms of their bestest selves. And, you know, I've been burned quite a number of times by the truth and freedom community, and also the goddess entrepreneurs. I mean, my worst haters have been women. And it's just like astounding to me, because you think that in the process of aligning with sisterhood and aligning with the heart-based new humanity, and that people who come for you, or come toward you, or are attracted to you, are of the highest order, and they are not. And that's been part of, I think, a big lesson in terms of doing purges, is the need for discernment, and the need, you know, Mark calls it really being in that alignment, such that your open-heartedness is not hijacked by naivete, and the, you know,
Yes. Yeah.
love and light only kind of thing, you know, because I'm just kind of like, I hug everybody and all that kind of stuff, you know. And I was one of those people, wow, you need a place to stay, come move in with me for a while, you know. I was like that, only to come back, you know, and your house is robbed, basically, you know, like literally robbed. And so to discern that, and then you have this vision, like the two of you having your vision, these multi-layered businesses. The website is amazing, totally
Thank you.
and
Thank you.
living that. And you know, pushing aside, or not focusing in on the challenges and all the waltzing in and out of the matrix rigmarole that is necessary to have a business, and to up level that kind of mindset. I mean, this is like, it's hardcore. This is the work. This is part of the great work of, you know, implementing that vision and aligning heart, mind, body, soul, and having that total coordination of all these components. And that's what's creating the flow. So I just have such deep admiration for the both of you. And you're raising a child.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
And congratulations on you finding your partner. You deserve it. You know, we're happy for you.
I do deserve it. And what's interesting about him is that we met during like right before COVID hit. I was living in Europe and I got deported. I got sent back to America.
Oh, yeah.
And within 12 hours, I meet him. I meet him through a neighbor who invited me to come to dinner with her, and I met him. And it's so strange because I was jet lagged. I didn't even want to go. It's like I need to go sleep, but then I was wired for sound. Hi, Sebastian. You want to say hello? Hi, sweetheart.
Yeah.
Aw.
Oh.
Aw. So I want to hear more about your offerings, your products,
Yeah.
all of that. I want to hear more about that. We want to hear more about that.
Yeah, so we did that superfood. It's a 3-in-1 multivitamin. And we have 2 seaweeds, bladderwrack, Irish sea moss, and burdock root blend.
Okay.
And it's health in a bottle, right? We love yourself to health.
Health is wealth,
And we wanted to create a product people could benefit from, not just a toy to sell to people on Amazon, or something.
It has vitamins A, B, C, D, E, and K. It has potassium, magnesium, iodine, iron, calcium. It's got 102 vitamins and minerals, all of the essential vitamins and minerals we need to thrive. And this specific formula is Dr. Sebi created. And he was a genius of health. And all his hard work and research led to this formula. It's an alkaline supplement. And he knew that when our bodies are alkaline, cancer does not grow in an alkaline environment. And so it's got so many benefits. We've been on it for 3 years and we've never felt so healthy.
Yeah.
Our son's taking it. We love seaweed, love it. So we have on our website lots of people talking very highly about it, have had a lot of great comments and
feedback.
People are feeling their best. They're
Beautiful.
getting healthy. So we're very grateful.
All right,
to
I'm
help
getting
others.
mine.
Yeah.
I'm getting mine. I'm putting in an order. And especially
thank you.
doing all this the post, like all of the post 7 anoints and all that stuff. I can't hear it anymore. I don't want to hear it. And I feel like I know for myself, just the upgrades that I've been doing nutritionally and I've been taking tons of Ayurvedic herbs and I've just totally stopped
That's great.
doing all the bad habits, the meat habits, all that kind of stuff. And doing the transition back to whole foods, superfoods, and to the essential minerals. Ooh.
There they are. There's some capsules.
Wow.
We'll send it.
Yeah, we got bottles
And
coming
yeah,
out.
we take you can put them in soups. Really, you break up the capsule, and they make them. They kind of enrich the broth.
Oh, I love it.
Great dips. I think Derek was putting them in salads.
Pasta salads.
Yeah.
With oil and vinegar, really tasty.
Delicious.
He's made me some of his pasta. Oh my gosh, beautiful. Yeah.
Oh wow. Really?
Yeah, I really enjoyed his company when he was here. I can't wait for him to come back. So,
Oh, cool. Yeah, we're so excited to meet you guys, and we cleared out our friends in the physical to meet you guys in the on the interweb now.
That's so wonderful. And,
When-
and I know Mike Christopher, he's got good friends up in Maine. And I've spent
Oh,
lots of time
cool.
up in Maine. In fact, one of my first retreats, which I froze my butt up, was
Oh, you
up
told
in
us.
Nova
In Nova
Scotia.
Scotia?
It was
Yeah,
up in
yeah,
Nova
yeah.
Scotia. I was so cold, I couldn't believe it. And you know, I used to live in Montreal. I know what cold is. Like, I don't know what I was thinking. And I had latrine duty,
Wow.
you know, so and shipping, and
Wow.
it was one of those no talking retreats where you couldn't talk for like 21 days and that kind of thing. Yeah, that was intense, you know. It just shatters my teeth. But it's beautiful terrain. Like the
Oh,
element,
it's gorgeous.
Mother Nature does not care about your wants and needs, honestly. And
Oh,
you
gosh,
will
no.
actually adjust to what it is that she is up to, and it's strengthening. It was very humbling to
Yeah,
be in that
it
environment
is.
with it was very bare bones. There was no heat, you know, it's like slept on the floor. The stuff
Wow.
that really really just sort of widen your awareness to nature's yeah,
Right.
yeah.
Well, we'd love to see if you come this way. You gotta come out to visit.
Absolutely. Well, tell us more about your other offerings. I want to hear more.
Awesome. So we have our website is a free and friendly user friendly website, Luv-a-lution.net. We put a tab on there all the way on the right called More Links tab, and you can look at all these videos and check it out for yourself, discern information. And we have a wonderful page, True Speakers, with all our mentors on there. You can click any picture you want and start learning from mentors all over the world.
Like yourself.
Like yourself.
So beautiful. I was blown away.
We're starting our life coaching now, which
Okay.
we have to learn more about scheduling, but we're starting our life coaching. We're offering
Life guidance.
we're offering a lot of material, teaching people how to love themselves. We're starting a course online, how to love thyself.
Beautiful.
That's important. Long-term goals is starting a retreat to help people deprogram themselves, let go of conditions, and help heal people.
Yeah, connect with nature and de-stress.
I took a quantum healing hypnosis technique course, so I'm dabbling in that some more, getting into past life regression.
Sweet.
Going into the person, helping them heal. Because if we know more stuff about ourselves, it just helps so much to answer questions, solve puzzle pieces about it. So we're dabbling in that. And then we're in the matrix. We help people when they get foreclosures, when they can't afford to pay property taxes. We help them go get money that's in their name, that's left over from the foreclosure. After the government takes their home out from them, they come in and take them from their house, and we help them get money that's due to them from that foreclosure.
Unclaimed funds.
Wow.
Or surplus funds.
So that's a niche we'd like to help people get involved in.
We're like Robin Hood. We inform people of money that they're owed, that they have no idea about, big amounts, and then the government will take it. And so we go in and inform them and try to get them their money back.
But they think we're lying to them and that we're crooks or something. So we have to convince them that we're good and we're here to help. We have money for you.
Yeah.
So
it's a niche market. And not many people, when they're foreclosed on non-payment of taxes or mortgage, they get evicted, foreclosed, their house is sold at an auction, and they're not told about this money. Maybe a letter sent to them, but they don't know. And
the government keeps money. They take the money and they keep it for themselves.
So criminal.
Yeah, so we found this a couple years ago and said this lines up with natural laws and doing right by doing good, getting people their hard-earned money back.
Yeah. Wow. Okay. Yeah, we need to have all this. We'll have all the information down in the show notes because that is important. I know so many people that have just, and then the fear of advocating for yourself up against the shitstems. It's
Yeah,
Oh yeah.
people
Yeah.
don't, yeah, they don't have the knowledge, and they've been evicted, they're emotionally stressed, they have no idea, and they don't have the knowledge or confidence to go up against, these government agencies, and
Yeah.
or the awareness that they're even owed. So
Yeah.
it's 13 states participate. Not all states allow you to get the money back. Most of them just take it
Wow.
without
The
us ever
13.
knowing.
Wow.
It's
So
Okay.
criminal.
anyone who's had a tax sale out there, let us know and we'll get you your hard-earned money back.
Okay. Okay. Wow.
Yeah, or mortgage
There's people being
foreclosures.
kicked out of their homes everywhere, left and right. You can't.
Yeah, it's
Thousands of people are going homeless every single day.
it's
Mhm.
criminal
It's bullshit.
Yeah.
what
Yeah.
they're
It
doing.
really is.
Yeah.
I
So
know a bunch of
that's
people.
something we're passionate.
Yeah, I know a bunch of
Go
people
ahead.
that are living in their vans and their cars since the whole,
Yep.
COVID shit show
Yeah,
because they weren't essential workers. I mean, it's like, wait, what?
Wow.
yeah, nonsense.
Yeah.
We lived in our van to sacrifice. We lived in a van, saved up enough to get the house, and then realized this is a big lie. We don't want this mortgage and this debt hanging over us,
Yeah.
I know.
So
I said, honey, when are we going to be able to pay this off? Holy cow.
I said, well, we're gonna sell it, and that'll take care of that. So yeah, that was a great decision to get out to the land. And yeah, we get our spring water from a spring down the street, and we have a very minimal home, but it's very functional. We have all we need, and on the side of a mountain, and oh yeah, looking with a beautiful view and amazing manifestations. We can't even believe it sometimes.
All in the head. We thought, wow, we want a piece of land.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah, that
We're-
mentalism law, we
The
just
first
put
principle,
it
the
into
very
effect.
first principle. Yeah.
Yep.
Change your
All is
mind, change the way you think. And there it is.
Oh,
'Cause
yeah. I'm doing
everything is mental. Everything. I love it. I love it. And the two of you are living it.
Wow, well, thank you.
That's
We love you.
awesome.
We love you. So grateful for you.
Yes. Yeah, we
So
are.
I have
And
more
Derek
questions.
all those amazing.
So
Yes,
I
go
have more
ahead. We're
questions.
not done.
So my question is, conscious conception, conscious child rearing, conscious parenting. And here are the two of you. You have Sebastian. You are off grid, and
Mhm.
he's adorable. What are some of your like pointers addressing conscious parenting, conscious conception,
Wow,
conscious parenting? Because I think that's so important, and especially just based on I remember Mark's presentation about people don't take care of their kids. Kids are being left behind. They're accessories to their parents, where we're just gonna put them on the shelf for a while I'm gonna flip through my dating app. I mean, I've heard women actually say that. And I'm out in public, and I'm thinking, okay, step away from the vehicle, because I want to go off when I hear stuff like that. It's like, excuse me, your child is not a bracelet that you take off and on. So
Wow.
yeah. What are your thoughts about that?
Well said. Well, conscious conception. I can't speak for my love here, but we tried to go as natural as we could, we were in a hospital, but with no drugs. And the nurses were standing around like twiddling their thumbs because they didn't know what to do. And we had a great midwife. Yeah, you want to
And like
speak about
conscious
that?
conception too is like parenting isn't what we think it is. It's very challenging. It changes you as a person. It you need to face things of yourself you never thought you would face because of your children. They make you better people or not
You
better,
stay in the
or
ego, yeah.
they
You,
make you become aware or they make you more asleep. It depends on your approach there. But with Sebastian, he pushed us our awakening even further because he woke us up to the
medical mafia.
medical mafia, you know. And
Wow.
when you have a child, you are fully responsible for that being, their health, their well-being, their
Yes.
mental, emotional. They're not just to push them away and put them in a room, you know, by themselves.
Yeah.
It's a hard job to be a parent if you do it right.
Yeah.
Just for everyone out there who doesn't know if they want to do it or not, it's well worth it, but it's the hardest job you are ever going to have.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're taking that responsibility now. You have a life to protect and you're bringing in. And most of we don't, you either change when your child is born or you just go fast asleep, even more so,
Mm-hmm.
right? Or you can awaken because you have this child who looks up to you as a protector, you know, the knower of all. And yeah, that really, we said we were taking full responsibility. I had a lot of nieces and nephews and saw how they were raised with technology and the convenient way, and it's so anti-child, and we couldn't
Very.
believe it. And during our pregnancy, we researched the vaccines because I'd learned they were very harmful, but didn't know a whole lot about them. So we researched and said, "Oh yeah, no way." So we didn't do one jab, and we got him out of there. It was like a weekend basically, and we got him out of there so we could really create that loving, supporting environment.
Wow.
Love you.
So, yeah, just being conscious, right? It's very, very, very important. Sorry, he's
Sorry,
banging.
he wants attention, so he's getting loud.
He's banging
Oh,
that
sweetheart.
And he loves playing the drums too.
Awesome. Awesome. Let's hear it.
I don't know if we answered the question.
Well,
But,
yeah. Well, it's not a one-off question, really. I mean, this is a process that is this is a lifetime process. And just the navigation of being in a hospital and then having done the research as far as the vaccines and all that kind of stuff and putting your foot down. And, you know, because a lot of that pressure from the medical mafia, the medical powers that want to be, it's coercion. And they look at you like you're insane or that you're doing great harm. And they have no idea. They have no idea because they're so indoctrinated in this protocol that goes unchecked, unquestioned, and unchallenged. Because that's just what we do.
Yeah. So the first pediatrician appointment was the last, right? So the first one was the last one. And I left crying. I felt so degraded. I'm trying to nurse my child, get him, you know, eating and figuring that out. And the doctor comes in with a computer. We can't even see her face. She's behind the computer reading all these percentiles. And I'm like, huh? And then she goes, so Sebastian, he's 2 days old. She goes, the hepatitis B vaccine and the hepatitis A is right here. We're ready to do it. And I said, excuse me? I said, what? And I said, he's not going to be having any anal sex anytime soon or any needles, injections anytime soon. And she said, get out of my office right now. And I said, okay. And we stormed out. I was crying. She left the room, told me to leave, told us to leave.
That
And
is
so, bless you.
outrageous. That is
You don't
outrageous.
take any.
Yeah.
So
Oh
we
my
went to a
God.
chiropractor. We went to a chiropractor. He held the baby, said he's perfect. Everything was amazing. And we haven't been back since,
Yeah.
you know? So if you don't order anything from their menu, they'll just send you out of the restaurant.
Bye.
So.
Goodbye. Oh my, oh, that is so,
So that-
brutal. I can't, my heart hurts hearing that. I just,
Mhm.
whoa.
That arrogance they have, that
Yeah.
arrogance is ignorance, you know.
Yeah.
Holy, and they don't come across people that inform themselves. They're used to people in fear and ignorant, so
Right.
they
Who
can
are
just
docile and
dictate.
compliant and have no
Yeah.
questions to ask because they have no idea. They're just gonna like go along to get along because of the experts. It's like, no.
Yeah.
Wow, good for the
Yeah, it was
that was a hard realization, was that, wow, okay, these people are trying to harm him, not consciously, because most doctors don't know what they're doing, but holy shit, I felt so bad for parents, how they just push you in a corner and they make you feel like you're the problem.
Yeah.
And I went, wow, we got a problem here.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the shame,
got a
the
big
guilt, and the dismissiveness that you can't possibly have an alternative view that is probably the correct view to have, rather than this sort of mass, hypnosis of a child, yeah, I just am like, wow. Oh, I'm so sorry for that experience. It's horrifying. And 2 days old. He's 2 days old.
Yeah, we're just
Yeah.
trying to make sure he was gaining weight and eating, you know?
Yeah, we knew it was coming. We had to be strong against these doctors. They think they know everything, but they're just following orders.
Yeah, they're following a protocol that has been really just kind of handed to them, beaten into them, literally, because they're all abused in medical school and in their training to not sleep, not eat, not have to think for themselves.
Wow,
Yeah.
So, wow, thank you for sharing
That's
that.
fascinating. And we were both raised pretty much authoritarian parenting.
Mm-hmm.
So we wanted to definitely go away from that parent style, because that doesn't serve anyone really. And who wants to be told what to do all the time, you know?
Yeah, I don't.
But we had to deprogram ourselves though, because we kind of had that still. We're authority over him because he's a kid. No, nobody
What was
has
that
outside
like?
authority over anybody else.
What was that like for the two of
Yeah.
you to navigate through that conversation of deprogramming the sort of automated authoritarian, now that we're parents, our way or the highway? What was that conversation like? I'm curious.
Well, it was tough. I mean, we'd catch each other doing our parents' programs and say, hey, we don't want to.
Like grab something out of his hand and put it somewhere else. We noticed we had that tendency to like grab something from him, and we realized, whoa, we don't have that right to just grab something out of his hand. What are we doing? And so we would call each other out and say, no, we cannot do that. And so we'll just point it out to each other. Him and I are like our higher selves. So he'll push me in the direction I need to go. I'll push him into the direction he needs to go. And we help each other that way.
Yeah, challenge each other.
We coach each other. We try to push each other, help each other, but challenge one another.
Yeah.
And it's awesome.
Yeah. I'm curious, how do you two navigate when hard feelings come up, when a trigger arises and you want to polarize rather than come together, or if it's not even polarized, you want to kind of go to war with each other, one up each other. How do you two navigate that?
Yeah, that's a great question. Just with getting it out, really. I mean, we can't, we know when we're in the ego, when we're yelling at each other or have a disagreement, or we're just, going off emotionally. We're in our ego. Okay, let's get it out, and we try to center back to that heart-based intelligence.
We'll
But
both say, all right, let's get back into our hearts. We'll say that out loud. Let's
Okay,
get back
good.
into our hearts. Like, let's get back to what really matters, right? Money comes and goes. The matrix is lies. Let's get back to the truth.
yeah.
And we pull each other back in there. John Paul, we've been reading this book called Men Are From Mars, Women Are From Venus. And we've been learning a ton that's been helping our relationship.
Yeah.
Like John Paul, men need to listen more to women when we just want to get something out. We don't want them to solve our problems. We just want to get it out.
Right.
And so if I need him to just listen and zip it, I'll tell him and he'll zip it and just listen. And I know I need to support him more and just tell him, you're doing great. You're doing it. Great job. And we always say to each other, we love each other. I love you no matter what. I'm never leaving you. I'll always be here for you.
Oh,
Yeah, that I love you always and forever, not I love you if and I love you when,
yes. Yeah, the whole thing about conditional relationships, because those are matrix relationships. And if you don't conform or you don't comply to this list, then I'm gone. And there's always that threat. That's the thing about matrix relationships. There's a back door to leave.
Yeah.
There's a back door to guilt, to shame, to coerce, and not be in acceptance of one another, and not be empathetic to each other's sensitivities, and the whole sort of notion that men don't feel, that I think men actually feel more intensely. And because of the generational programming, and just our collective programming as human beings, being coerced and disempowered and having our dignity hijacked by the powers that want to be, we have a tendency to automatically go and coerce other people, shame other people in a sort of retaliatory place. And these are like hard things to check ourselves on, and to be able to stop in the moment and come back to the heart. Come back. Come back. And it takes
that is that awareness that that we're not our egos, and the ego loves to fight, and me versus everybody, and that awareness that we have, so we can realize, okay, that's the program. I'm sorry, that was my ego talking. Okay, let's get centered, like you said, and deep breath, and we just get that muck out, and we always forgive, because we're not perfect, neither of us, and we can accept that about each other,
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
And we've come a long ways, believe it or we've come far in our relationship and blossomed big time.
Yeah.
So it's always changing, right?
It's
always
it's
changing.
Dynamic. It's dynamic. And do you two find that, like Amy, sometimes you're leading the relationship, and John Paul, you're leading the relationship at certain times as well, that there is this sort of ebb and flow of quote unquote who's in charge, even though the both of you are in charge, that dynamism of being in the forefront and then stepping back and letting letting the other be in the forefront. Are you finding that flow?
Definitely, yeah. Yes. Being that we're not really controlling people, that helps a lot. And we have that open-heartedness to listen. We have that feminine care and openness to,
Beautiful.
be open to whatever and listen to what, your partner's saying and really caring about what they're saying, you know. Um, that's helped us a lot.
But yeah, some days if he's not having a good day or whatnot, I'll lead. And if I'm having more of a day where I want to rest more, then he'll lead. We really co-parent very well.
Beautiful.
If I'm stressed, I'll go for a walk. We tag team a
Yeah.
lot.
There's always, to spend when someone needs to go unwind, we'll watch our son while the other goes for a walk in the woods. And we have a little acreage here. We have our own woods. We can go and kind of de-stress, which is amazing.
Beautiful.
And
I think that needs to happen. Our men have worked so hard that they're out of the house all day. But if we want to see this world be a better place, we have to start shifting that mindset and start
Yes.
working together more
Yes.
in the home, if we can,
Yeah.
and keep our children with us and teach our children together instead of just going to work, dropping them off, coming home, doing it all over again. Because our relationship's getting better every day, strengthening. I don't know how people go for all day without seeing their husbands,
Yeah.
their partners. That's got to be very hard.
Yeah. I think it's a weird default pattern that and it's mind control. It really, really is. It doesn't sit well. I don't think that's natural. And I don't think we need to necessarily be on top of each other and be together 24/7, but to just have that sort of mindset of this sort of separation. There's a big difference between individuating and that separation thing. Huge difference.
Yeah.
So good for the
But
book.
yeah, we have no problem. We have no problem like switching roles or however. We don't really get caught up in that, identifying with any roles, really. We're just, here to make it easier on each other. We work together
Yeah.
and cooperate over competing,
That's so sweet.
Oh yeah.
I love it. I love it. Oh my God, we've been at it for a while. Is there anything that okay. Here's the question. And I kept thinking, I know I started something and I was like not looking in the right place. But I want to hear your thoughts because I have a lot of couples coming to me who want to integrate truth, who want to integrate deactivating, their respective traumas and PTSDs and their the role playing, the mind control around the war of the sexes and all that kind of stuff. I want to hear from both of you your thoughts about what makes for a solid foundation to even contemplate moving into sacred union with one another. Who wants to go
that's
first?
a good one. So there's that quote, if your woman isn't a rebel, she'll make you a slave.
Wow.
Or that line. So that started, we were both rebels. We were both questioning the answers, and we both didn't accept the system where you can accept the conditions or you can accept responsibility to change them. And we've evolved to accept that responsibility now with the Luv-a-lution. But yes, I don't know if that answered your question.
Yep, it did.
I'll
But
go.
go on.
go to. And just realizing it's an individual journey. So how bad do you want to know truth? And then you guys can meet, can go together and have that foundation. But it's really important that on an individual level, you decide that you want to know the truth and nothing but the truth. And then from there, my friends, you can learn the truth and grow together and,
and dissolve your egos together.
And your relationship will just get better and better and better. The more you align with truth and love and open your heart and tell your partner you're never going to leave them and just make them feel so loved. And I think it could be so beautiful.
Yes.
The relationship will flourish.
So we talk about how you can't give what you don't have. And so you have to love yourself in order to truly love someone else. And that is a very crucial thing in this. Many relationships, their cups are empty. They got nothing to give but material things,
Yeah.
And so that we have to start to pull away from and start minimizing our lives, really focusing on our priorities and our relationships. And that helps us dissolve such a divide within the genders, within, different ethnicities and all sorts of things. Once we realize we are love and, we get to that love frequency, that new humanity you speak of, that's so beautiful, because that has to come from dissolving our egos and opening our hearts and coming from that heart-based intelligence.
Coming from our soul.
Yeah, connecting with our souls, listening to our souls, our higher selves is important for a great relationship. Yeah.
I love it. Beautiful, beautiful answers. Beautiful. I am just like, I'm so inspired. I thank you both so much for gracing my channel, my humble offerings here with your presence and your just your brilliance, and I love, the sun is peeking through in the background, it's like this light immersion. I love it. I love it so much. And yes,
we love you.
We're gonna need to do more. And I know you guys are, really really busy these days. So do you have any parting comments, ads before we close?
Yeah, I just wanted to say about holidays, like Valentine's Day and all these holidays. We researched what the truth was about all the holidays, and we've stripped all of the matrix programs away from our relationship. And we couldn't be happier, because you don't have to go buy your girlfriend or boyfriend a gift. You can just give them your heart and your love and be really there for them, truly. And we're doing amazing without the holidays. So
awesome.
And I love all of you, and I appreciate all that you do, and you're just such a beautiful love star, and you shine so bright. I love you, and thank you for everything.
I love you both too. Thank you so much.
Yes, thank you. You're such an inspiration, and all the amazing people you've had on your show and all your great work. So we're so thankful, and we just got to keep loving ourselves, knowing thyself to love thyself, freeing our mind control, because only you can free your mind control. No one else can do it for you. So
very true.
That's all we have to say.
It is an inside job. Inside job. And I was hoping the kitties would come forth. Are they around? Do you see them anyway? Angus and Opal. I think they're sleeping right now. Oh my God.
Yes,
I have to get kitties. I think that's on my list.
Oh yeah.
List is
they're amazing spiritual beings.
They really are.
They raise the vibration.
Yeah.
Hearing them purr actually raises our vibration.
Oh,
they prove it scientifically. Yeah.
I love it. Well, thank you both so much. And I'm going to have you both on the show again. And also too, I want to interview each of you individually for my other series. And I love having these series because I think these important conversations to go from, you know, coupledom, and then you as a woman, you as a man, and to like really look into the individuation, because it does start that consciousness, the self-love. Really, it's not just an inside job, but we each need to face that on our own in order to be able to co-create with one another. You know, it's like if you don't have that within yourself, then yeah, it's very true. You have nothing to share. You're not well sourced. So anyways, I would love for that to get on the books, you know, to keep that beautiful
Thank
flow
you.
going.
Also, we didn't, yes, trust. We didn't touch on trust is, of course, a huge truth, and trust are the foundations of any relationship.
Yes. Yeah.
So
And
wanted
you
to touch
need
on
that
that
truth
quick.
for the trust.
Yeah.
Because if you're not aligned
Yes,
with
they're
truth,
kind
what
of
are you aligned with?
No,
Yeah.
absolutely. No trust, no truth. Yeah.
Yeah.
Great conversation.
Anyway,
Had so
pleasure.
Beautiful
Yeah.
conversation.
Thank you.
All right, my loves.
Love
We'll have
you.
all of Luv-a-lution's information down in the show notes. And yes, so here's to love, truth, and beautiful waking gods and goddesses. You know, I love you all. What can I say? I'm blessed. I'm blessed. I love it. I love it. I love you all. Have a good one.
Love you. Have a great
Love
day.
you. Woohoo!
Evolution.